Good afternoon, good morning, afternoon, still good morning, everyone. We're just going to give people a little bit more time to join. So yeah, if we can just do your bathroom breaks quickly, get some water, we'll probably get going in the next couple of minutes. All right. Good afternoon, everyone. It is 12. I know everybody is very busy, so we don't want to waste too much time. I see people are still dripping in. But thank you very much for joining us for our Lunch and Learn session for this month. We've done a couple of them before. So hopefully we've got some return visitors. Hopefully we've got some new faces. And just to kind of give you guys a little bit of context on these sessions is the reason why we do this is to kind of share information with our customers. There's so much going on in IT nowadays. It's very hard to kind of wrap your head around it. So this is a platform that we want to use, just communicate to our customers, introduce them to technologies, have conversations, giving you guys a platform to ask questions as well. And hopefully you get some information useful information out of these sessions. Just a quick reminder, there is a Uber Eats voucher coming your way if you attended the session. So you guys can keep an eye on your inbox just after the event. I think within an hour you guys will have the voucher. Please, that voucher is only valid till I think tomorrow afternoon. So please rather use it this afternoon or this evening, maybe for dinner as well, or you can still grab lunch with it tomorrow. So just keep an eye out for that mail in your inbox. All right, guys. So our discussion today is around security, as many of our discussions are nowadays. I'm not going to do too much talking because we've invited the experts around. So I want to introduce you guys to Calin from ESET. We've been long-time partners with ESET. I think we joined the ESET family more than 20 years ago. I think we were the first South African distributor of ESET. Love working with them. It's an amazing program application, and we've seen that ESET application evolve over the years, becoming better and better and more inclusive. We really love working with the ESET team. They always seem to be on the forefront. And what we really love about ESET is that they've got a local South African base, which is great for us. So without taking up too much time, I want to hand over to Calin. Calin, welcome. Very interested to hear what you have to say this afternoon. And yeah, like you can take it on.
Good afternoon, everyone, and thank you so much, Petrie. Thank you for the warm welcome. We are very excited to, join the Dial a Nerd webinar today, and of course the Lunch and Learn, because as everyone knows, or those that do not know as yet, Dial a Nerd has been, a distributor of ESET for many years, but we'll unpack all these details more we get into the presentation. So today, I think the purpose of our webinar today is really to discuss cyber threats. So as a cybersecurity organization, it's very important for us to make sure that all, users of the internet are, of course, aware. All right, so just a little bit about ESET and the Dial a Nerd business. So ESET or Dial a Nerd has been a trusted ESET partner since 2004. right? So they have served as an ESET partner, distributor, and reseller for a very long time. I see it's 11 years, but it's definitely way more than that. We constantly recognize Dalinerds' excellence and achievements in our SMB space and in our consumer space as well. So they received numerous awards and accolades. Anyone that has been to a Dalinerd office has seen so many trophies and accolades from ESET, and that is just a testament to how strong the not only relationship is, but how strong the belief from Dalinerd is in ESET. So I think getting back to the reason why we are all here today is, of course, to discuss cybersecurity. What is cybersecurity and why should this matter to you? All right. So, as small businesses, we often think, or small to medium-sized businesses, we often think it's only large corporate companies that are impacted by, cybersecurity threats. But the threat landscape has become challenging year after year. So essentially, cybersecurity is the practice of protecting your computers, your networks, and your data within your organization to make sure that they are not, they don't come in the hands of unauthorized users. All right. So it's, the digital equivalent from protecting your house from crooks. So not everyone has access to your home. Not everyone has a key to come in. A lot of us have safety gates and windows and all of those things that really make sure that we protect our homes. And the same goes with cybersecurity. So you need to protect your security from your networks, your systems, essentially from digital attacks. Why should this matter to you? Everyone hears these terms and see articles online, but the world has really evolved quite a lot over the past few years. So in today's world, everyone benefits from advanced technology. We loosely hear the term Copilot, Chat GPT, and all of those terminologies. So everyone essentially is in a position where they use technology in some way or another. So that makes everyone more susceptible to be a victim of cyber fraud. So a very fun little fact is that about 460,000 new users are added to the internet each and every single day. So that is why it's just becoming increasingly more important for us as security companies to create awareness. Cybersecurity awareness, not because we want people to resell and use our products and services, but it is also our duty to create that awareness. All right. And like we said, there's not only the 460 users that are added daily, but there are existing people, billions of people that interact with the internet each and every day. So we use internet for pretty much everything. You think it's as innocent. You only use WhatsApp for contacting family members and friends. But even something as small as just WhatsApp or Facebook is also very susceptible to, cybersecurity scams. So this is basically just a quick little snippet of internet users in Africa. And this is, of course, January 2024 data. So this is by country. So I think we've highlighted South Africa and Kenya specifically because ESET, like Petrie has mentioned, we are local. So we have a local presence in South Africa. Our head office is based in Cape Town. And then we have another office in Kenya. So this is just a quick little interesting snippet of the users, a percentage of how many users in Africa are actually using the internet, right? And these numbers are increasing all the time. So I think we'll kick off and just ask a few questions, get everyone engaged. Cybersecurity, it can be very interesting, very shocking, alarming, and also a lot of fun. So I think we want to make sure that everyone is engaged. I believe the mics are unmuted, so please feel free to, drop some information in the chat if there's questions, or unmute the mics and just shout out. I can't see any hands from my presenting view. So just a quick question. Can you tell whether or not your computer or cell phone has been hacked? I'll give it a minute or so just to check the information in the chat. And if there's anyone that is willing to answer the question, please feel free. Do we have any takers? All right. So I think we'll continue. I know it's very daunting to speak in front of quite a large crowd. So this is most definitely a myth. You cannot really tell when your computer or your phone has been hacked. And that is because when hackers install malware on your device, it's very difficult to detect. So these hackers aren't just people that don't really know anything about cell phones. They are sophisticated. Many of them have actually gone through universities and studies just to actually learn more about the cybersecurity industry. They're very well educated, so you definitely would not be able to tell once your computer or your cell phone has been hacked. So it's very important to install software that prevents this from happening. All right. We do have another fact or myth. This is question number 2. Please do feel free to just pop your information on the chat. So would a variety of very difficult, complex passwords keep you safe online? Is this a myth or is this a fact? I'll give everyone a chance to drop that in the chat or answer. Okay, wonderful. We'll get to the answer. So unfortunately, this is also a myth. So hackers, again, uses software that can run millions of password combinations. So again, the methods are very sophisticated. So we strongly advocate for something like MFA or two-factor authentication. A difficult password is unfortunately not enough to keep you safe online. So jumping into question number 3. So it's not, I think most people will get this one right as well. So it's not that big of a deal to have your data stolen. So if all you do is scroll on social media, surf the web, and send a few emails. So people think they don't go to malicious sites and whatever the case may be, so that their data cannot be stolen. Is this a myth or a fact? Please drop that in the chat, or you may feel free to answer as well. Right. So again, this is definitely a myth because your social media is a lot more valuable than you think. So yes, it is definitely valuable to those that are marketing goods and services that they need to sell. But it's even more so valuable to hackers. So we hear a lot of different terms and concepts around social media, and how information can be stolen. So it's very important to keep control of your data. Because they use things, if you post pictures online, they see what your children's names are. If they're trying to hack into your account, they'll easily try to guess your children's names or your pet names. So social media can also play a big role in having your data stolen. And then lastly, people that are using the Apple devices are typically very keen to speak on the security. And as much as I do agree, question number 4, can we use Apple devices because we use them because they cannot be hacked? Is this a myth or is this true? Please drop that in the chat. Okay, so the answer is that, of course, is another myth. So Apple products can also get hacked. There are a lot of security measures in place, but it's always good to have alternative security measures to make sure that your device and data is secure. All right. So why cybersecurity awareness? Because with increased public attention, hackers will target you. So it's very important to be aware of common cybersecurity attacks. So if you are aware of those attacks, you'll be very prepared to spot them and, of course, in turn, avoid them. So we are going to go into a few cybersecurity concepts and the most common types of cybersecurity attacks. All right. So a lot of us may have heard of the concept or the terminology called phishing. So it's definitely not the type of phishing you do, boys weekend. It's not that type of phishing. It's phishing PH. So it's essentially when a scammer pretends to be someone you trust, like a bank or a supplier or a customer. So they essentially trick you into giving them sensitive information, like your passwords or payment details. And they usually, the means of communication for these phishing attacks is typically fake email messages, text messages, or they even use clone or phishing websites to lure consumers into providing consumers or businesses into providing confidential information. So it's a technique essentially that impersonates a trustworthy entity, and it will then in turn steal sensitive data such as credit card numbers or whatever the case may be. Right. So these days it's very difficult to spot phishing attempts because hackers, again, they've become very sophisticated. So there's no more spelling errors and things like that you could easily have picked up in the past because they are using things like artificial intelligence, the likes of ChatGPT, to send very professional looking emails. All right. So we're going to quickly get into a video just briefly explaining the concept of phishing.
What is email phishing? Email phishing is one of the most common forms of phishing attacks used today. Cyber criminals disguise themselves as your trusted bank, employer, phone company, email provider, social media provider, or other company to lure you into giving them your personal information. Though these attacks are well disguised and sophisticated, they can generally be detected with 4 quick steps. Number 1, spelling and grammatical errors in the subject line and body of the email. Number 2, urgent calls to action requesting login credentials or personal information for verification. Number 3, foreign email addresses or email addresses that aren't assigned to the trusted company. Number 4, links that when hovered over show a domain that is not the same as the company sending the email. You've probably already seen this attack, whether you realize it or not. Never click on the links and never provide login credentials or other personal information. If you feel the email is legitimate, manually enter the trusted website in a separate window, then contact your trusted representative through their traditional channel of communication.
Thank you so much, everyone. So that was a very useful, video just showing us hover over those domains. So why, what is the mitigation and how can we mitigate those very common phishing attempts? So do not click on those unsafe links. So just to essentially summarize the short video, so hover over those URLs. And check the domain to make sure that it is the correct or a trusted entity. Do not open any sort of suspicious email attachments. And more importantly, or most importantly, invest in a reputable antivirus or endpoint security software application. All right. So if you feel that you don't have adequate measures in place at the moment, reach out to the Dial and Know team. They definitely know how to get you secure in terms of getting you an antivirus or endpoint security solution. Okay, so there's another common terminology that we often hear in cybersecurity, in the cyber world. It is ransomware, malware, right? So what exactly is ransomware and malware? All right, so ransomware is essentially designed to harm your computer and steal information, like with viruses that are put on your computer, spyware, or fake applications. So that's of course malware, which is also shortened for malicious software. So ransomware is a type of malware that basically locks your files or systems, and you typically see, many of us may have heard of ransomware instances where exactly what they do is keep your data and information. They hold that ransom, right? They would essentially need you to pay them to release your data. So typically these threat actors would ask to be paid in cryptocurrency just to keep that, to not be able to trace it back to them. So it's very important to, mitigate ransomware by only downloading from reputable and known sources, right? So do not use USB sticks that you pick up on the train or in a shopping mall or whatever the case may be. No matter how cool it looks, it can be loaded with ransomware or any sort of malware. Right? So again, very, very important. I think we would like to reiterate how important it is to invest in reputable software to prevent you from being attacked by ransomware or malicious software. And then very importantly, keep a backup of your data. Make sure that you keep it offline or you back it up to the cloud just to mitigate the loss of confidential data and of course critical data for your organization. So again, we'll just quickly go into a video just outlining what ransomware is and how to look out for ransomware signs.
The word ransomware is a combination of ransom and software and refers to any kind of malware that demands a ransom from a user in exchange for the return of a kidnapped file. Kidnapped? Ransom? Is this for real? Yes, basically, this threat works just like a kidnapping in real life, except the things held captive are your files, which may be multimedia files, office files, or system files that your computer relies on to work properly. How is it spread? Typical methods are through attachments sent via unsolicited emails, or by clicking on a link in an email that claims to be from a bank or delivery company. They are also distributed through peer-to-peer file sharing networks, being passed on through activation keys for popular software, like Adobe Photoshop and Microsoft Office. What kinds are there? There are two kinds. The first is called a file coder, which encrypts the files. And the second is a lock screen, which locks the computer and stops you using it until you have paid the ransom. This type of threat sometimes employs psychological methods to trick you and pressurize you into paying. In some cases, the lock screen also incorporates a live transmission of what the webcam is currently seeing, which creates a feeling that someone really is watching you. Other times, the message on the lock screen takes the form of a notice from a national police force, which states that the authorities require you to pay a fine because they have found evidence that your computer contains images of child abuse or bestiality, or that you have visited illegal websites or used pirated software. So do you have to pay? We do not recommend paying, for two reasons. Firstly, there is no way to stop the attackers demanding more money from you. And secondly, if you pay the ransom, you are helping create a new market for cyber criminals, which could lead to further ransomware attacks, as well as other types of attacks in the future. Rather than pay, it is better to learn the lesson. Make sure to back up your data regularly so you can recover your files if you are unlucky enough that it happens again. And also make sure to get better protection for your computer. As always, prevention is better than the cure. If you have a good security solution and run frequent backups, you shouldn't have any problems. Keep enjoying everything that technology has to offer you. The word
So thank you so much, everyone. And again, like I said, if there's any sort of questions, please do feel free to just ask right away. I can't see if there are any hands up. But yes, I hope everyone has enjoyed the brief illustration, just showing us exactly what ransomware is, how it works, and of course, like they always say, prevention is better than cure. So ensure that you have all the adequate software in place to ensure that you're not targeted by these cyber attacks. But of course, sticking to the cyber attacks, right? Another very known or very popular way is or password attacks, right? So essentially a very interesting way of also stealing confidential information, it is credential stuffing. Right? So what is credential stuffing? That is essentially where hackers use stolen emails and passwords that are from, previous breaches. So we all know these sort of this sort of information is readily available on the dark web, right? Where you can pay for an organization that has been impacted by a breach, and you can basically buy usernames and passwords. What they typically do, they, try to log in, so they try to gain access to other accounts, be that your banking or whatever the case may be. And that is just due to the fact that people reuse passwords. So that is definitely not something that we would advocate for. We would strongly advocate against using, the same passwords. So use a password tool that automatically generates and keeps your password safe. So there are many applications of the sort around. So it's best to do a little bit of research just to find out what would be the best method of keeping passwords safe, but we strongly advocate against using the same passwords, right? So you'll see that, they'll have multiple attempts. In certain instances where we have security set up on our phone, you will get notifications to say that there's been multiple login attempts to your devices. So they'll keep on trying different sort of platforms to log in. So that is essentially what credential stuffing is, another form of trying to intercept our confidential data. Right. So when it comes to password security, of course, we'll always, for now, we'll use password as a form of authentication or as a method of authentication. So we would strongly advocate that you regularly change your password and, make it as difficult as possible, right? So you can also use, multi or minimum two-factor authentication, be that the ESET 2FA tool. You can also use your Google authenticator application as a second factor. So you use passwords, typically include passwords like that includes special characters, uppercase, lowercase, just to make sure that it's very strong. All right. Monitor your accounts. So you need to make sure that you regularly check on your accounts and see whether they have been, part of a breach. So there's a very nice way of also checking whether you have been part of a password breach. So have I been pawned.com, they essentially help you to check if your email has been breached. So you can copy and paste the URL and you'll be able to see if your email address has been a part of any sort of breaches. So we also will drop the link in the chat if anyone is interested in using this method of mitigation. Right. So it's also very important to check the security of your passwords that you have, saved to your Google account to see if that has been compromised. Again, make sure that you always check your passwords and back up your data. Right. So again, this is just part of the mitigation where you can see if you've been part of a breach. And this is essentially what it would show you as well. Okay, sorry. Before starting the next video, so there's another concept of security attacks that is, I think, one of the most common ways of getting unauthorized information is, of course, social engineering. So it's very good to practice very good social media hygiene. Most of us in today's day and age use some way or the other social media platform. So we're just going to show a very interesting video on how hackers use the form of social engineering to break into a user's cell phone. Please stay tuned.
So I invited a few of the world's best hackers to try to hack me and show me where my vulnerabilities are. And now I'm going to meet them in Las Vegas for DEF CON, the biggest hacker convention of the year. They're going to hack me using social engineering, which is essentially hacking without any code. They just use a phone and an internet connection.
Do you want to do a sample phishing call?
What's phishing?
Phishing is voice solicitation, and basically what you do is you use the phone to extract information or data points that can be used in a later attack.
Let's do it.
Okay.
Who are you going to call?
Maybe I'll call your cell phone provider and
Okay.
see if I can get them to give me your email address.
I bet they're good. I bet they have my back. But yeah, go for it.
I'm going to spoof from your number, so it's going to look like it's calling from you.
Okay.
Hi, I'm so sorry. Can you hear me okay? My baby, I'm sorry. my husband's like, we're about to apply for a loan and we just had a baby and he's like, get this done by today. So I'm so sorry. I can't call you back. I'm trying to log into our account for usage information and I can't remember what email address we used to log the account. The baby's crying and can you help me? Awesome.
In just 30 seconds,
At gmail.com?
Jessica gets access to my personal email address.
Now, if I needed to add our older daughter on our account so she could call in and make changes, how would I need to go about doing that? You would have to send me a secure PIN through a text message? Yeah, well, the thing is, I don't think I'll be able to receive a text message if I'm on the phone. Shh. Oh, I'm not on there either? So I thought when we got married, he added me to the account.
Jess uses my girlfriend's name and a fake social security number
5127.
to set up her own personal access to my account.
Wait, I'm sorry, so there's no password on my account right now? Can I set that up?
She even gets the support person to change my password.
Thank you so much for your help today.
So she just basically blocked me out of my own account.
I'll get her fed after this. All right, thank you.
So yeah, that's a very interesting way on how it's very funny because we think, if someone sounds trustworthy, they have a nice voice, they're well spoken, they sound trustworthy, we typically believe that they are. But the rule in security is, unfortunately, do not trust anyone. Make sure that you have a zero trust approach when it comes to pretty much everything. So, it's very important. So to also practice good social media hygiene. So be very mindful when posting online, right? So there's a few things that we can do to mitigate social engineering, all right? So you can, of course, clean up your friends and followers list regularly to make sure that there are no unauthorized persons on your social media that can, get any sort of confidential information. Also, you can turn off location sharing. You can also create a private profile. So that gives you more control over who gets to see things that you post, who gets to directly message you. And of course, do not open links from accounts you don't know. And very importantly, do not trust everything you see online. We unfortunately live in a society where we need to question everything. If things look or seem too good to be true, chances are they really are too good to be true. And if you are at any point in any sort of if you have any sort of doubt, use different ways or methods to verify that information. So another very common method of, that we something that is very uncommon, it is called phishing, right? Another cybersecurity attack that's very common. What is phishing? It's essentially a type of phishing attack, but it's with QR codes. These days, after COVID, we go to restaurants, they don't have any, menus. There are many people that don't like that. And I completely get that. So these days, they also use phishing as a form of, attacking users or getting, information from users. So QR phishing is where that QR code that you scan actually directs you into a site that downloads malicious content. All right, so that's also another way that threat actors have come up with, getting into our data. So there is definitely good ways of mitigating this QR code phishing. So I'll just quickly take us into a brief video to show us exactly how to go about mitigating QR phishing or phishing.
Since COVID-19, many restaurants said goodbye to physical menus and instead started to put QR code stickers on tables. Customers point their phones and scan these QR codes to access the menu. The thing is, cybercriminals also go out to eat, and they can easily place their own sticker over the legitimate sticker. So next time anyone scans that QR code, they will be redirected to a bad link, like a malware or phishing site. Restaurants are just one example, but this is applicable to QR codes anywhere. Now, QR codes are sneaky. You don't get to see the URL before you scan it, and they can be used to prepare a malicious text message, connect you to a fake Wi-Fi network, and more. So even though they are very convenient, try to avoid using them and instead ask for the official URL and go there by typing it. If you do end up scanning a QR code, double and triple check that you are on the correct website, and if you are prompted to do anything, don't.
Thank you so much. So that is essentially just a very quick and easy way how to mitigate the QR or the phishing. I think a lot of us don't even think that those type of attacks are possible until we read up on it. So we'll go into mobile security, all right, and mobile device best practices, essentially.
Let's discuss what you...
So yeah, of course, it's very important to make sure that, we're all aware, because most of us, probably 90 99% of us have mobile devices that we're using, and it's very important to make sure that our mobile security is also at the top of our minds. Things like updating software should be the order of the day. But I think these illustrations shows us a very fun way of showing us why this is important, not only to consumers, but of course us, you know, in the business world as well, small to medium-sized businesses. They are very, you know, I think they are the most common to be attacked by any sort of cyber attack, because it is, you know, well known that the small to medium-sized businesses might not have the security infrastructure of those bigger businesses. And a lot of us use our mobiles for day-to-day running of businesses. So I'll just jump straight into the mobile security video. This is, again, just a very, very brief and short video, just showing the mobile device best practices.
Can do to secure your mobile phone. If you took photos of sensitive information like your driver's license or scanned documents, then you are not the only one with access to these photos. Many apps on your phone probably have access to your camera roll, and you don't know who's behind each of these apps. So go to your phone settings, check each app to see if it has unlimited access to your photo album, and if it does, turn it off. You can always temporarily turn it on when needed. While you're there, check to see which apps have access to your location, contacts, microphone, etc. Next, delete apps you aren't using anymore. You can always download them again. And for all others, ensure they are updated, including your mobile OS. Keep in mind that both Google and Apple can't 100% guarantee that all apps in their stores belong to legit businesses or are clean of malware. So do some research and check who the app developer is before downloading. Turn off Wi-Fi and Bluetooth when not in use, and choose a PIN that is hard to guess. Lastly, do not store clear text passwords or sensitive information on your Notes app, contacts, etc. This information needs to be encrypted and kept safe.
Okay, wonderful. So again, that is just a few of the mobile device security best practices. So this is also just a fun fact, statistics on the countries that uses their mobiles quite a lot. And as everyone can see, as Africa, we are really, really up there in terms of using our mobile devices. All right. So with those things in mind, just make sure that, you know, when using your mobile device, update your software. Ensure that the software is regularly updated, because there's third-party applications that can typically be used, outdated applications that can be used for, you know, hacking into your phone. All right. So things that you can also look out for, that your phone has been hacked. If your phone loses charge, so your battery dies quick, your operating system is a lot slower, unfamiliar calls and text in your history, suspicious online activities, you know, things constantly popping up. So even if there are no signs that your phone has been compromised, it's very important to adhere to security best practices. So things like disabling remote connectivity, setting permissions on your applications. You know, there's always been a big debate around TikTok, for example, that has so much access to your phone, because a lot of us just click on allow, because you are so annoyed with all the pop-ups that you're getting. But double check, read the terms and conditions, and make sure that you know exactly what you are signing up for and what you are allowing and what data you're allowing these applications to have a part of. And of course, always try to make use of your biometric access. Certain cell phones use your fingerprint for biometric. You also have retina or whatever the case may be. So whichever biometric access your phone requires, try to make use of that, because that is something that is very unique to yourself. Okay, so again, Apologies. So again, social media, I think it's best to always make sure that we practice good social media hygiene. And I just want to again reiterate and show how private your information is on social media. I think this is going to be our last short little video. So just give me 1 second. There we go.
Oh, hi, can I help?
Can I have a hot chocolate?
What's her name?
Joelle.
What was her name?
Alex.
Alex. There you go, Johnny.
Cheers.
If you like our Facebook page, we give you a free hot drink and a free pastry.
We have a new like for Damien. We have a new like for Damien.
Hey, Carly, are you standing by?
Standing by. Hi there, can I help?
Yeah, I just liked your Facebook page.
Okay, I'll search Facebook
I'm
now.
searching Google.
Have a phone number.
I've got his email address.
Okay, Carly, are you ready for information on Damien?
Yep, I am.
Mother's maiden name is he banks with
Carly, this is the girl coming in now with the blue scarf.
What's her name? Nicholas.
Nicholas. His date of birth, 7th of May. She lives at 38A.
Just be a couple of seconds.
2 children, 8, 4 and 6. Previous address. She's got the postcode.
Yep, got it. Damien, age 26 and a fitness instructor.
How do you know what that?
Where did you go to UCL? Martin went to South Thames College, assistant psychologist at Great Ormond Street.
How did you know?
I don't understand.
Huh? Pardon?
You know I'm a Christian as well.
Oh, yeah, we know everything about you, Martin. Thank you. Nice to meet you, Anna from Russia.
So yeah, as funny as this may be, this is so real. Do not fall prey to social media attacks. Make sure that your privacy settings are correct so that we can keep these unwanted visitors out of our social media platforms. Right. So cyber threats are constantly evolving, and becoming a challenge for every person. Right. So at ESET, we make it very sure that we want to create a culture of awareness, and we don't want to, instill any sort of fear. So we partner with the likes of Dialer to create a safer space and make sure that the internet is a safer place. So people need to know why security matters and how their actions can contribute to the bigger picture. So as businesses and business owners, it is also your responsibility to make sure that you are aware, because security landscape is ever changing and constantly evolving. So it is very important to use software in your organization to keep your clients' information safe and confidential. All right. Like I said, we strictly advocate or very firmly believe in creating a sort of education around cybersecurity. So at ESET, we specialize in antivirus and endpoint security, but we would like to offer everyone here today some free cyber training. All right. So yes, I can definitely assure you guys that this QR code is legit, but we will drop the link in the chat, and the Dialer marketing team will definitely share this information with yourselves to sign up for free cybersecurity training. All right. So yes, I think if we can perhaps recap just the entire session. So why should cybersecurity matter to businesses? All right. Because your customers' data can be stolen. All right, so we've unpacked quite a few common methods that these very sophisticated threat actors, go about stealing that data. And what is very important to businesses is, of course, your reputation, especially in a country like South Africa. A company's reputation pretty much means everything. Once a brand suffers reputational damage, it's very difficult or nearly impossible to turn things around and get, organizations to, of course, or consumers to trust your business. So reputational damage is very damaging, of course. And, you know, an organization like Calin is known to have a very good reputation in the industry for a long time, because not only do they, you know, distribute ESET and resell ESET, but they also use it internally to ensure that their infrastructure is kept safe and secure. So these threat actors, again, they also target small to medium-sized businesses because they know that these type of organizations typically have fewer security measures in place. So, of course, you do not want to be a statistic, and make sure that you have all your measures in place. And of course, it could also financially impact businesses. So if those threat actors get access to your bank accounts, you can, of course, lose money if they do get into those, of course, bank accounts. So protect your business by taking caution with emails, phishing emails that asks you for passwords or payment, clicking on those links. So be very careful when clicking on those URLs. So if it is an email you get from, for example, a client or a supplier, rather go to their website and type in their details or call their office just to make sure. So the rule is zero trust. Do not trust anyone, anything. Make sure that you double and triple check. Use multi-factor authentication. A password does not quite cut it. And of course, what is the biggest, you know, the biggest weakness in cybersecurity is, of course, the human element. So it's very important to train your staff as well. As you can see on the screen, this is ESET cybersecurity training. And of course, very importantly, make sure that you're using the correct software. You know, ESET software is readily available from Calin. The Calin team is also very happy for those that are not using ESET as yet to use any sort of trial accounts. We can also provide demos and proof of concepts just to see how it would essentially be working in your environment. So I think that is pretty much it from my side, from an ESET side. I think thank you for everyone's time today, and thank you for listening to us. We also do have, you know, various types of training available, but of course, please reach out to the Calin team and they would be very happy to assist. I think I will hand back over to Petrie for any sort of Q&A. Thank you.
Thanks, Calin. That was very informative. I definitely couldn't have done a better job than you. Thank you very much. I'm pretty sure everybody got some information out of there, and just reminded everybody how unfortunately security aware we have to be nowadays. We are really in a, like, with technology constantly evolving. You know, these security threats are evolving at a rapid pace as well, making use of all of these amazing technologies that we use nowadays, even with AI. So it's really something that we need to be very aware of, not just as business owners, but please, guys, I would absolutely recommend you guys take Calin up on the security awareness training, not for yourself, but for your staff members. That's where we see these kind of cracks falling through. It's great that you guys are aware of these things, but we need everybody in your company to be aware of these things. And we would encourage these kind of awareness sessions with your staff at least twice a year as refresher courses, just so that it's top of mind, you know, to keep an eye out for suspicious mails. And they are getting cleverer and cleverer by the day in terms of how these mails, you know, get to it, and the type of information they ask. So please, guys, I would strongly encourage you guys to make use of that awareness training. Calin, thank you very much for your time. It's always amazing working with you guys, and you guys do such great work in that space. And we will definitely be partners of ESET for a very long time. It's like, yeah, it's just an amazing product, protecting multiple layers of security. Like we've just seen, there's not just one thing nowadays. It's not like back in the day we just had to have an antivirus for your workstation. You now need protection in your cloud applications, your mobile, your email. All these things need to be protected, and ESET is doing an amazing job at that. So thank you very much, guys. I don't know if anybody has any sessions. I'm just scrolling through the chat here quickly. I'm just seeing. Rula, I see you had a question in regards to ESET versus Microsoft Defender. We can definitely have that conversation with you. For us to now start comparing, products by products, we're going to sit here a very long time. But we can definitely have that discussion with you one-on-one and kind of compare what you guys are currently getting and what ESET can as well. So we can definitely take that offline. I also do want to mention, a lot of people know ESET from back in the days where the licensing, method was an annual license per user. I just want to make mention that we do also have it on a managed service offering as well, where you now pay per month per user, which allows you as a business a much more flexible solution so that, your quantities can grow, and decline with your staff complements. So if you guys are interested, please reach out to us and your friendly salesperson at Dialinerd, and we can guide you through that process. Thank you very much, guys. Thanks for joining. We're already planning our next session, which is going to be very exciting as well. So hopefully we'll see a lot of you guys returning for that. Please keep an eye out on your mail for your Uber Eats voucher, and enjoy lunch on us. And we'll see you next time again. Thank you very much.
Awesome. Thank you so much, everyone. Thanks, Petrie.
Thanks, Ag. Cheers. Bye-bye.